I probably slightly deserve that.
This is why you need to be good to the babe. If you do not upset the babe.
The Bay? Are you serious right now? You're calling cars a Bay. Are you serious right now? I can't even look at you. I can't look at you because we don't have the screens on because we're trying to make sure that you can that it blah 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 whatever. I can't believe you. I don't even anymore.
Look, I'm just saying, you don't want to tick off the man, okay?
Running
But
through.
then again, it could work both ways. Like, you really don't want to tick off the woman in the relationship. Speaking of women in a relationship, I just remembered
That you
a
are
hilarious.
in one?
Well, yes, but no, I just remembered this hilarious story when I was in high school.
Uh huh.
So it was like in my final year. It was in grade 12, and not this really funny young teacher in like English.
Mm-hmm.
And so number one, I will say, me and him butt heads when it came to nerdy stuff because he loves Superman while I love Batman. So me and him would constantly argue about that. So that was the first funny thing. But the second one was of a situation that he witnessed when he went to a mall, like a couple of years ago. So he witnessed this guy, right? It was a couple. There was this guy, this girl, and you could clearly tell in the situation
Oh,
that
Jesus.
she was shopping and was dragging him there.
Oh
And
my.
like,
Masky?
like it's like, oh,
Masky, speak.
I am here.
Okay. I just think you went in and out.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now you're back.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, so I was like carrying all these bags, and he could clearly tell that that his girlfriend obviously been dragging him around all day, shopping nonstop, and
Oh, poor guy.
it's like one of those situations where you can't help but watch, like you
Let's
don't want
watch
to
the
be intrigued.
train wreck, shall we?
So he overhears this. So I think like it was a couple bags, mind you, where he's like, "Hun, I can't take this anymore. Like once you're done with the store, like we're going home." And he said that I could remember this to this day. That she turned to him and said, "If we don't finish my shopping, you ain't getting none of this."
Oh my goodness. Really, lady? Oh my goodness.
And he saw him like an hour later with even more bags.
Oh, I can't believe that. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but yeah, that's one of the stories I'll never forget my English teacher telling me, and me and my other classmates. Also, I don't know if I ever said this on recording, but one of the semesters I had, so in English we were doing song lyrics. So pretty much like we were learn pretty much like we had a bunch of songs and we were pretty much analyzing the lyrics and seeing, what the person was trying to talk about, like, what's the story behind it, and just and symbolism and all that. So the songs that I can remember that we did was that we did a Kesha song, which was absolutely agonizing. It sucked. It was horrible. We did the song Hallelujah, which was a real tearjerker. I really enjoyed that one. And I got a pretty good score on that. And we did a couple others, but we finally had like an exam, and I remember to this day, I come into class, hun, and there are Superman figurines. There's a Superman cape. He is wearing a Superman shirt, and he hands us the test, and it's a song. And let's see. I'm trying to remember exactly what the song was called.
There they are. There's a stupid spacesuit. Guess I
Okay,
don't have to look at your faces.
it's literally called Superman, and it's by Five for Fighting.
Okay.
And when I saw this song, I immediately knew who it was talking about. It was a Superman song. These are the lyrics. I can't stand to fly. I'm not that naive. I'm just out to find the better part of me. I'm more than a bird. I'm more than a plane. I'm more than some pretty face beside a train, and it's not easy to be me. I wish that I could cry, fall upon my knees, find a way to lie about a home I'll never see. Obviously, he's talking about Krypton right there.
Mhm.
It may sound absurd, but don't be naive. Even heroes have the right to bleed. I may be disturbed, I may be disturbed, but you concede. Even heroes have the right to dream. It's not easy being me. Up, up, and away, away from me. Well, it's all right. You can all sleep sound tonight. I'm not crazy or anything. I can't stand to fly. I'm not that naive. Men weren't meant to ride with clouds between their knees. I'm only a man in a silly red sheet digging for kryptonite on this one-way street. Only a man in a funny red sheet looking for looking for special things inside of me. I'm only a man in a funny red sheet. I'm only a man looking for a dream. I'm only a man in a funny red sheet, and it's not easy. It's not easy to be me. But when I saw that, I immediately know. I'm like, this is a Superman song. So I kid you not. When I read that, I wrote for every question he had on the sheet of paper, like, what is this part talking about? What does this person mean by this? And et cetera, et cetera. I wrote every flippin' thing I know about Superman. I even mentioned the dog Krypto. I am serious. I wrote everything I could think of. I got 100% on that, by the
That's
way. I was the
hilarious.
only one that got the best score in class, and that the fact that I knew it was about Superman. And it was so funny because my teacher took me aside and he's like, I thought you were a Batman fan. And I looked at him and I was like, Mr. T, I'll say that. I won't say his last name, but I'm like, Mr. T, I may be a Batman fan, but you better believe I know about Superman. So, but yes, I will never forget that. That was like one of my proudest moments in class, minus my math test where I got like 100, I think 102 or 105% because I got all the questions, including the bonus question, right?
Sweet.
Like I said, I still remember when I read this thing, and I'm like, Mr. T, I know exactly what you did. Like, it is so obvious. And I remember, like, I looked at the rest of the class after I did it, and I'm like, if none of you realize this is a Superman song, you're all idiots. Like, I'm sorry. Like especially Funny Red Sheet, Flying, Kryptonite. It's like, you should know by those lyrics who this is about. Like, there's no excuse. Yes, like I said, I will never forget that.
One of the most boring parts of this game, besides walking on Manon in one of these suits.
I know. I like like, isn't the second game a little bit faster with
Oh,
these?
it's like you're like like Wile E. Coyote going on over here. Like, yeah, this is probably more realistic, but
Mm,
ugh.
right. Right. But yeah, so when you did school, like, did you ever have to like get like lyrics and have to like analyze them and try to figure out what the heck the person was trying to write?
I don't remember.
Hmm. Yeah, like I said, I did that in grade 12, and I actually really enjoyed it. Like I said, minus the Kesha song, and there's this like this other guy. I think like, oh, that's right. I think it's a guy apologizing to his girlfriend that he beat, where like pretty much it's like, do you think he's really sorry with the song that he made?